What's everyone saying? It's your boy Some Explores back again. I'm here today outside Brixton Station here in South London. Brixton Station is the southern terminus of the Victoria Line, and Walthamstow Central here is the northern terminus of the Victoria Line. But did you know the Victoria Line was supposed to terminate here? The Victoria Line is one of London's busiest underground lines, with around 200 million passenger journeys a year made along the 21-kilometre route between Brixton in South London and Walthamstow in North London via Victoria, Oxford Circus, King's Cross St Pancras and Finsbury Park. Beginning operation in 1968, it is one of the city's newest tube lines, having been planned in a post-war era of infrastructure building frenzy. Initially, when it opened, the line ran between Walthamstow Central and Victoria, with the extension to Brixton and opening of Pimlico Station coming later on in 1971 and 1972 respectively. So let me ask you, did you know that the Victoria Line was not supposed to terminate here at Walthamstow Central? The plans for a new tube line in the 1940s were full of a whole load of different proposals, including an express version of the Northern Line, another express tube line from south to north, linking the railway lines out of Liverpool Street to Chingford and Enfield Town to the rest of South London, and even a tube line heading all the way out to Croydon. Plans had been smished and smashed, resulting in plans for a tube line from East Croydon through up to central London to Walthamstow Wood Street and onto Chingford on above ground big boy main line lines. In 1954, the big boys in Parliament granted permission for a new, albeit shorter route than was envisioned between Victoria and Walthamstow Wood Street, with the possibility of further extensions, notably to the south. That's a very simplified history of the development of the Victoria Line. And yes, I know a random geese out there will correct me about something in the comments. Please do. I need some knowledge. I want to learn some more things. This proposal was very similar to what opened up in 1968, except for two things. Of course, the Victoria Line has been extended down to Brixton, but also, look, the Victoria Line doesn't go to Wood Street, it only goes to Walthamstow Central. Walthamstow Wood Street would have been the stop after the current terminus, Walthamstow Central, which was named Walthamstow Hoe Street up until the Victoria Line turned up. Basically, it was cut because of dollar bills, pound sterling, dirham, krona, zloty, very late in the grand scheme of things in 1961. It seems like money has always seemed to have been a reason why infrastructure projects are cut all the time. Wood Street nowadays is still served by big boy trains towards Chingford, formerly part of the National Rail Network and now operated by London Overground as the Weaver Line. Wood Street isn't that far from Walthamstow Central, only being a 2-minute ride on the Overground, after an easy, but not wheelchair accessible, interchange from the Victoria Line. Services on the Overground here do only run every 15 minutes though, rather than the up to every 90 seconds you get at peak times on the Victoria Line. Wood Street Station features two rather long platforms which look like they could handle 10 or 12 car trains on their day. The area is relatively residential, with a nearby large development which looks quite recent, and a Travis Perkins warehouse next door to the station. The station is served by a number of bus routes, the 230 and the W16, and the 230 does serve Walthamstow Central, although it does take a relatively circuitous route around the area. You're much better off taking the train between the two stations. I definitely think you couldn't have a Victoria Line extension to Wood Street nowadays. Where would the train surface? Would the station be underground? What would happen to the Travis Perkins? Is there enough demand to put all the time, money and effort into extending the line one stop to its originally planned terminus? If there are any shouts about an extension, I'd say a focus on making Walthamstow Central accessible is a much more sensible suggestion to put forward. make the interchange easier for all between the tube and the overground, and you wouldn't really need to have a case for a northern extension to Wood Street at all. You know, do you guys see where I'm coming from? Any shout to extend the Victoria line from Walthamstow Central to Wood Street is just a bit nonsensical at this rate. You literally just have to do a 2-minute interchange and you get the overground, one stop, and you're all Gucci. Okay, maybe increase the frequency from 15 minutes to like every 10 minutes or 7.5 minutes or something. I don't know. Since the Victoria line first began operation, the railway service along the line through Wood Street to Chingford has improved like crazy anyway, especially since TfL took over the lines from Greater Anglia. There's been updated stations, better infrastructure, new trains, better branding, and many more improvements that could have a video of its own, you know? All in all, I'd say, look, if one day magically Wood Street had, I don't know, 2,000 new properties built right next to the station, I still think there wouldn't be a point of having an extension to the Victoria line. I think it does the job already quite well. Brixton, Walthamstow Central, change onto other bing bang bongs, and also there are other lines out there that probably should be prioritized in terms of an extension or an improvement. But that's my opinion. What do you guys think? Drop your opinions in the comments below. Right, you find me back here at Walthamstow Central, here at the northern end of the Victoria line. You can see I've spent a lot of time on the Victoria line. My forehead is sweaty. If you like the video, make sure you drop a like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. I'm gonna go get myself a lovely cold pint. It's been your boy Summon Explorers, and I'll catch you in the next one. See ya.